All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, SHIPIT Nation YouTube station, back with the Wednesday 5-game slate breakdown tonight for NHL on FanDuel and DraftKings. Coming off a big night last night, guy laid the house, continues to ship everything over here at the Nation, continues to ride his heater there, following the content, following the slate plan, following the core plays over here to parlay his way into a $5,000 first place shipper. If you guys are new, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you guys are not a member yet, head over to shipitnation.com. Click on join now. Use that promo code DGEN15. Gets you 15% off any membership plan. We got a big week this week in PGA. We got you covered for that. NBA returns tomorrow. We got you covered for that. Obviously, NHL, we got you covered. NASCAR back now on the docket. We got you covered for that with the merger now with DGen75 and his crew there. So use that promo code DGEN15. Get you 15% off whatever membership plan you do choose, which is already a steal, the cheapest all-in rate in the industry for all the sports, premium content, tools, projections, the best community in the industry, and actual education courses to help you become a better player. At the end of the day, we want you to become a better player. Spend more on DFS content to play more DFS contest. With that said, let's jump right in. Talking favorite stacks of the night. We're going to start with my favorite stack of the night here. It's going to be the Toronto Maple Leafs here, likely the chalk of the slate here. Austin Matthews going to be the top play on the slate for me here. He continues to ride this heater. 10K flat for him. Now gets the best matchup in the entire NHL centers against Arizona here. Austin Matthews, incredible play. His two line mates, Knees and Mitchell Marner, great stacking players there as well. If you want to get a little bit different, jumping into that second line, you can definitely do that. One guy that is pretty cheap that's playing out of his mind right now is Bobby McCann there on that third line. I think he's a great option there. Matthew Knees, 3.5K skate next to those guys. Incredible play there. And then the second line with Max Domi, Bertuzzi, and Nylander is also a great line. A little bit lower owned than that top line. So Toronto, my top favorite stack of the evening here tonight. Let's jump into my second favorite stack here. It's going to be Buffalo Sabres here on the road to face Montreal here. Buffalo, 6.5 total in this one here. I think Buffalo rides it in here and beats up on Montreal pretty good here. Tage Thompson, very, very good price point. Skinner, Tuch is going to be my preferred line, that line one. Rasmus Dahlin, great D-men play on the slate as well. You can pair him up. And this third line is actually playing pretty good. In particular, JJ Peterka here, 4.6K. I think he's a solid option. But if I'm not going to this top line, I'm going to go to this Dylan Cousins, Casey Middlestat, Greenway line. Like the second line are a little bit more on the road. Centers against Montreal. Montreal ranks 30th in the league. Love the centers here in this matchup, especially Tage Thompson at 6,600. So I really like Buffalo here. Buffalo, my second favorite stack of the evening here. I'll give you two more. I'll start with Philly, probably a very, very chalky team here tonight. One of the heaviest favorites on the entire slate here on the road to face Chicago. Chicago, just a terrible hockey team, even with the addition of Connor Bedard. Obviously, he missed some time there throughout the season. He is back. He's been on an absolute heater. You can always play him as a one-off here, especially in this matchup against Philly. But I'm going to side with the Philly side, in particular this top line with Cordier, Atkinson, and Owen Tippett. Owen Tippett, 6.4K. He's crushing right now. He's averaging nearly 20 DraftKings points per game over the last 5. Coming off a massive game where he dropped 35 DraftKings points against New Jersey, where they lost 6-3. Expect them to keep the train rolling here. Like Philly quite a bit. Expect them to get quite a bit of ownership here. Philly, great plays here. Would look at that top line in particular. Definitely can play that second line too on the road. Not going to get in the third line too much for them. The last team here I'm going to bring up for the sake of a lower-owned team here is going to be Columbus on the road here. A lot of road teams for me tonight, Buffalo, Philly, Toronto, and Columbus here. The only home team I would kind of have interest in here is maybe a flyer on Anaheim, just because Anaheim and Columbus pretty evenly matched here. It's the late-night hammer. Anaheim could take it to Columbus here, who got absolutely slacked last night against LA in LA. Now they come on the road here on a back-to-back with travel again in Anaheim, but I do like them to rebound back here. Pretty solid matchup. Won't fault anyone for going to Anaheim here, but I'm going to be on the Boone Jenner side. Gaudreau, Jack Roslovic here side. Zach Werenski here. I mean, you're basically getting a winger for 6,200 at the D position here. Top line, top power play. I mean, this guy plays all the minutes he can handle. He's going to play 25 to 26 minutes here, averaging over 4 shots on goal per game over the last 5. He's a great play. But more importantly, the second line with Chinikov here, Vornikov, and Kirill the Thrill Marchenko 2.0. Very cheap here, and I'm seeing sub 5% ownership. I think if people go to Columbus, it's definitely on that top line. So I don't mind taking a stab here with the second Columbus line. I think they make some sense here overall. So that's going to round out my top stacks on the slate. Let's take a look at some value plays you can take a look at here. First guy we're going to bring up is Dmitry Vornikov here. Talked about liking Columbus quite a bit. Anaheim ranks 26th in the league against centers. He's 4K flat. Great value play there for him. Another guy you can look at, Scott Lawton, like Philly quite a bit. Centers against Chicago. Chicago ranks 28th in the league. This guy's going to play 15 to 17 minutes here. He's averaging over 2 shots on goal per game. Getting power play time here. I like Scott Lawton at 3.1K. I think he's a solid value option here on this slate. And then the last value guy I'll bring up is Max Domi, probably my favorite guy. 3.2K, got bumped up to the second line, skate next to Bertuzzi and William Nylander in a matchup that Arizona ranks dead last in the league against centers. Max Domi, one of my favorite values on the entire slate. Let's talk about some value wings. We're going to start with 2 guys, probably on the chalkiest team of the slate. One of them is going to be Toronto. We're going to start with Bobby McCann here, 3.3K. This guy's averaging nearly 20 DraftKings points per game over the last 5. Obviously, there is a ceiling game in there of 46 points where he scored a hat trick back against St. Louis, but Toronto has been absolutely scoring goals in bunches. I mean, they won 4 straight, 4 goals, 4 goals, 9 goals, 4 goals, at least 4 goals in their last 4 games. Bobby McCann, great play there, great price point. Matthew Knees as well, 3.5K, skating next to Marner and Austin Matthews. Hard to ignore the spot there. I mean, he's getting 14 to 15 minutes here. Skating next to those 2 guys, great play there. Another guy, Jordan Greenway. Second line, talking about like in that Buffalo line too a little bit here, especially on the road. Middlestat Cousins is his 2 line mates. Jordan Greenway, 3.4K. This guy is playing close to 20 minutes at 3.4K. He's averaging over 2 shots on goal per game. So Jordan Greenway going to round out the value wings for me that I have interest in on this slate. Start with the value D-men here on this slate. First guy, Nick Seeler for Philly. Talked about liking Philly quite a bit. 3.9K for this guy. He's averaging nearly 14 DraftKings points per game over the last 5. He's going to block shots. He's going to shoot the puck as well. He's going to play 17 to 18 minutes here, 3.9K. He's a great option here on this slate. Another guy, Timothy Liljegren, 4K flat, chalk of the slate. 4K top power play D-men here on the slate with the highest implied team total. Timothy Liljegren makes a great option here tonight. And then one more guy you can take a look at here is a guy like Henry Jarnkarou here for Buffalo here, 3.2K. Montreal ranks 30th in the league against D-men. This guy plays 23 to 25 minutes at 3.2K, blocking shots, getting power play time. So Henry Jarnkarou here, probably butchered that last name, but you get the point. Buffalo, 3.2K D-men to round out my favorite D-men on the slate. Let's take a look at some favorite goalies, on the slate to round us out on the show before we get on out of here. As always, my final content, slate plan, core plays, and our pivotal matchup sheet. It gives you basically a one-stop shop to help build lineups here, correlate that with the slate plan and our premium projections. You should be able to have yourself a nice evening building lineups and hopefully follow in the footsteps of Lay the House RM here, who's coming off a massive night in the NHL streets. Without further ado, jumping right into the goalies here on this slate. Start with the top goalie on the slate, top projected goalie on the slate, Stuart Skinner, 8K flat. Talked about, again, Edmonton a ton here. I like Edmonton to win this game. Boston's going to fire the puck still here. Basically a pretty even matchup here. I give the lean to Edmonton on a home ice, 8K for Stuart Skinner. Great price point there. Like him quite a bit. Another guy you can look at here is UPL for Buffalo, 7.9K. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen here. Probably butchered that name, but you get the point here. Pretty common theme across this show. Not very good with pronouncing these names, but nonetheless, you understand where I'm going. UPL for Buffalo, 7.9K. I think he's a solid option. And then my favorite punt goalie is going to be Daniil Tarasov here for Columbus. Like Columbus to win this game against Anaheim at home. Or on the road, 7.3K here. I think he's got upside like Columbus in this spot, even off the back-to-back. So Daniil Tarasov here, going to be my favorite cheap punt goalie if you need one. That's going to do it for this game. Obviously, 5 games on tap tonight. I'll have you covered. As always, my slate plan is already live on the site. Our matchup sheets updated. My core report will be going live shortly here. But good luck tonight in your contest. Hope to see those SHIPIT Nation logos at the top. For myself, Nadesify, let's ship it.